Okay, and we do have the Platy Waddle, and you do have the chord rolls. Did you see those?
I did. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. I'm talking over you.
So keep those in mind. Also, keep the consequences of those in mind.
For the sake of the stream, do you want to read it out or should I?
Oh, go ahead if you've got it up there.
I was actually just pulling it up for that purpose, and I realized I should have asked you first. The Platy Waddle. Since the game has 3 players, it will grant 3 rerolls that can be granted in any combination to the players once per game. Any one of the players can call for it. Platy has to give whoever calls for it at least one of the rerolls, but the other 2 can be distributed as she sees fit. However, this is not an advantage roll. If the new roll is lower, I'm going to force the player to either use the new roll or use an additional reroll if they are given one.
That's fair.
In short, it is a straight reroll, not a, as he says, not an advantage thing.
Okay.
The Cord Vader roll. Cord can grant this at his discretion once per game. Grants the player advantage on this roll and grants GM advantage on the next roll. Both GM and player cannot have advantage on the same contested roll.
So who remembers where we left off?
I do, but you should say it anyways.
Yeah.
Because I imagine
Last time.
none of our viewers know at all where the heck we were.
When we last left Flash and Dr. Narco. So Big Ben, the leader of Digger Springs, the giant reptilian mutant, had just brought a couple of squads of troops from Digger Springs down to Broke Tree in an effort to take over the town in light of our party's backstabbing of him, between the betrayal and the traitorous nature of the party and Broke Tree's willingness to provide sanctuary to the party. He has come down to Broke Tree in an effort to take his revenge. The party, having convinced the hunters of the town and some of the less pacifists, that's a terrible way of wording that, the people who are
rational.
Well, yeah, okay.
I like the term less Jedi. You should go with that.
Right.
Had agreed to stand with the party against the encroaching attack, and actually drove them back. Though the casualties that the Big Ben squads inflicted were heavier than you thought they would be. As you guys have been fighting back the squads of Big Ben's troops, you notice that Big Ben has disappeared. You chased after him. You were able to follow his tracks, as he wasn't hiding his tracks at all, and being a giant of a man, his footprints are rather easy to spot. True.
Yeah.
It's kind of like following Sasquatch, you know? Except it's never mind.
Oh yeah, that works well. Good. Let's go down that path.
Don't. And so you drove back his remaining forces, followed his tracks into the wilderness, and that's where we left off. One thing I had forgotten to check, which I'm a terrible person for this, was whether or not you had grabbed your NPC companions when you went after Big Ben, or if you left them in the town.
I feel like we did something with them. I don't remember.
I feel like we did too. I will admit I've been idly strategizing while I was finishing cooking earlier, and all of those involved them being there, but don't take that as indicative. I was just
I think they did come with us, right? I mean, why would we leave them?
Well, okay, was everyone finished in the town? Because I know we left the mayor's office after that bloodbath, and then were there still troops in the town?
No, we swept it. We swept
Okay.
it. I remember that.
So yeah, if there's no troops left in the town, we would have brought them with us. If there wasn't, I would figure that we would have left them behind to help take care of that as we go after Big Ben. But if we swept the town, then we're bringing them with us.
Okay. All right.
That just makes sense.
I mean, if we're retconning something, so be it. I don't see why you wouldn't have brought them with.
Yeah.
If you had remembered differently, then we'd go with that. But if you're all thinking the same thing that you brought them with, that's what we're going to run with.
Okay.
I think the closest thing to us not bringing them with would be they're a little bit behind us and catching up because we took off at quite a clip.
And that's true.
Yes.
That might be what that is. That might be the discrepancy there.
Let's go with that. I like that. You had basically yelled for them to follow you. You guys took off. They're catching up. I like it. Okay. So you guys are out basically in the petrified forest at this point. You have Big Ben's tracks heading north. It is the direction of Digger Springs. What's your plan?
To obviously to catch up, but here's a random thing I want to do as we're going and making haste. We have various projectile weapons, but right now I completely spaced on names. Jonathan,
Right?
yeah, I was like, I don't know which one it is, and it's been a few weeks since we've done this, so I'm gonna guess you still have the plasma scythe.
I
Right?
should, yes. In fact,
Yeah,
I guess
if I remember correctly. As we're running
glad.
through the petrified forest, I understand the entire original intent of having this thing was to actually cut down or trim the petrified trees. Is there a way to potentially cut a sizable limb that could be used as a staff of some sort? Or, and not knowing enough about that particular tree, would that be like cutting a sizable large slab of granite and then dragging it somewhere? So I know it's tough and that's what is needed to cut it, but is it also like incredibly dense so it weighs like 60 tons? Like I'm trying to run around with a thing of tungsten.
No, I mean, you could. I should make you roll on it, but I'm not going to.
I mean, it's fine if you want to do that because it's kind of an improvised kind of creation of a weapon. As a thought process, but
it's not going to be immediately available. But you guys have several miles of this forest to traverse.
Okay.
In that distance, you are bound to find what you're looking for.
Okay.
So yes, I'm going to go ahead and say you find a branch that can be used as a staff.
Okay.
With the plasma scythe, yeah, it's just a matter of a swing, and you're cutting through rock. It's petrified,
Right.
so it would be a two-handed swing if you're going to be swinging it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a baseball bat.
Yeah, no.
But if you're looking for an improvised weapon or like a spear or something, it could definitely be used for that.
Mm-hmm. Just something of a melee option because we don't have infinite ammo, and right now Jonathan has the only like viable melee weapon. So I was going to say, can we maybe even the odds a little bit and have a kind of a backup? Because I don't have the knife I had anymore. The bow has, I think, 1 or 2 shots left. The sniper rifle has literally 1 shot left. And And yeah, so we're going to burn through ammo pretty quickly, more than likely, even if we fight him alone, which we probably won't. But that was my thought on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Feel free to override that, guys, if you think it's a bad tactical decision.
I mean, I'm not going to be opposed to more weapons. Now, if you're going to be getting up and close and deadly, I do have a somewhat good melee weapon that I salvaged off of one of the opponents last time. It's a primitive weapon, but the D6.
I mean, yeah, either way, I was looking for something that like could provide a little bit of distance because he's big. If he clips me, I'm kind of screwed. But if I can keep him at distance, I might be able to at least keep his attention while somebody circles around and takes him down, you know.
Oh, if you want to grab his attention, I have no problem with that.
Okay. Cool.
The only thing I wanted to add, in kind of more of a long-term, this is the direction I think we should be going in kind of a thing. Presuming what I am presuming, which is all in character at this point, he's got effectively I'd say a company at least of troops there. And we have the 6 of us. So while I would love to just kill them all, really, I do think that would, and in all in total sincerity, I do think it's actually possible. And I know Guido's like, what? And all I'm going to say is, to summarize, guerrilla terrorist tactics, basically. Sneak in, kill a few, sneak out. Sneak in, kill a few, sneak out. The problem is, from a real life perspective, that's going to take forever. Like, think about how many sessions it would be. All right, so we're going to go kill the next 3 troops, and then the next 3. And this is just the session.
You just need one hay bale and a good 20 minutes, and you can put all. It's fine. I've done it in Assassin's Creed 1,000 times.
I have to. You just load them.
Easy.
It's kind of terrifying.
Yes, it really is.
But yeah, no. So I don't want to put Guido through that at all. So I had a thought, because that was actually my original tactical plan here, legit. And then I was like, wait, that's going to be terrible. Let's not do that. So what I'm thinking is we should be approaching this Phantom Menace style. Now, obviously, Guido is a slightly better writer than George Lucas.
Wow.
But what do you mean by Phantom Menace style?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
The
So
Phantom
pod
Menace.
racing?
See, Sibri, she understands where I'm going with this. No, although pod racing would be a great way to end this.
So dumb.
Really,
So dumb.
No.
Oh, it'd be so cool though. Now this is pod racing. No, okay, so the idea is we find the mothership and shut down the troops, basically. Now, obviously, they're not literally droids being remote controlled, but my general thinking here is if we take him out, we will probably not have to fight most of his people. Either because they are terrified of us, or because they're no longer being controlled, or because we've taken control because we just killed the big guy. You get the idea, right?
Yeah.
One way or the other, lop off the head. The Phantom Menace thing.
Yeah, as long as they make it look easy.
Yes. We have to spin it. That'll be my job. I'll be at 1 HP and like, and I'm just sitting here. Are those tears? No. I am laughing at how pathetic he was. Anyways, that's the general.
Oh, Cord.
What? No, Cord. Also, that's not the Phantom Menace thing.
Which one would he kill, the master or the apprentice?
Why not both?
So, anyways, long and the short of it is that's what I think our general strategy should be. We should find him, identify him, get to him, kill him, and then make a big show of it to make the army stand down.
Yeah. I think we probably won't know a whole lot more until we actually get there.
That is the big problem, but I do think that means we should take our time with this, because my thinking is this needs to be about 90% prep and then 10% execution.
Dr. Reddy, how good are you with concocting poisons and or hindrances?
I mean,
biological wise.
A lot of stuff that will poison you, but as far as actually like making professional poisons, not something that did a whole lot. You can try
I mean, we've got those snakes.
Yes, if they bite you, you'll probably be venomed, but
Just a thought. Let's point it out.
Because I'm wondering, like, maybe we can sneak in, poison him, and then try and take him.
If we, well, okay, so here. Something that's probably a sure bet is if we grab a whole bunch of nasty looking plants, grind them up into something, and then literally put it in there. I don't know if it'll kill them, but at least maybe cause them some
It will give him a stomach ache, and
well, I mean, like, so
it will be helpful.
Here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know his biology at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I can guarantee if we get a bunch of nasty looking stuff, it at least may put him down for a bit.
I agree with that. If nothing else, I mean, think about this for a second. Imagine what the plant life around here has to have evolved into and mutated into to survive at all.
I was almost going to think, like, if he wasn't mutated already, I was going to say get some of the nano water and use that on him. But I'm pretty sure if you've already been mutated by the nano water, hitting you with more nano water will not change that mutation, because I'd imagine that there's a grand plan for what you're going to be changed into, that it locks it into that, and then you're stuck as whatever that is.
Yeah.
Well, on the way, we could test some plants, and I'll pick a leaf off, and I'll say, here, lick this, and we'll see what happens.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel good.
Ash. Okay,
that one works.
We need to get that into his mouth.
Let's use that one.
We'll win.
God. But no, I mean, I'll see if I can identify, perhaps, at least on our way, something to use to make some sort of concoction that might work for this. I know it's kind of a long shot, but
I mean, it is something as opposed to nothing. So
I'll try and aid with notice.
I suppose I will also try to aid with notice as soon as I find my character sheet.
Yes. I'm wearing shoes.
Here we go. I am not.
I'm not wearing shoes. Where are my shoes?
Did you guys take my shoes?
I wish we could find some plants.
Dude, where's my shoes at?
I'm
sorry.
It's a good sign. It's a good sign.
So what No, it's a good thing. We get all the bad rolls out of the way.
Just burn them all now.
Yep. I suddenly decide to scout the area to burn a bad roll here. Oh, God dang it.
You found your shoes.
I was just playing around.
I don't remember wearing thongs.
Where did those pop in? But yeah, so I agree with the try to at least do some kind of biological warfare thing. But one way or another, what we're going to need is intel more than anything else. So I say we actually turn around and go link up with our troops, all three of them. And then I say that we turn right back around and make a leisurely push off the road up north, or whatever direction it is, in order to find them and then kill them horribly with sticks, hopefully.
So maybe circle around the edge of Digger Springs?
Yeah,
not take the main road in? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, granted, you already mentioned Assassin's Creed, but I admit I was already kind of thinking in that direction. There's no way there's zero methods of ingress into a town that has no defenses to speak of. Like, this isn't a fortress.
Sure.
It's a town, right? We got this. We just have to take our time and find it and not roll 2. That's going to be the tricky part.
Well, that said, I think there's going to be like sentries of some degree, because they did have a pretty large indentured workforce. I'm assuming some of them are posting guard duty.
Yeah, and the worst part is we're going to have to not kill them, because that's just going to put them on higher alert.
Do we have a less lethal stick we can beat them with?
Well, no, the idea is we have to not get seen at all, basically.
Oh, right, yes, of course.
I know that's impossible, but that is what we have to do. It's either that or we go back to the guerrilla warfare plan. And
I don't have a plus anything in ghillie suit, so...
Yeah, I look up at the sky. Guido, do you want me to go with the guerrilla warfare plan? I mean, Do you want this to drag out for 7 more sessions of the exact same 5 rolls over and over again?
I think we should have you get up to the town, and then you can decide if that's your plan once you get there.
Got
Sir.
it. So what he means is he has actually unleashed a weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
No, it's that scene in the Two Towers where Saruman walks out on the platform
God.
with
Yes,
with Wormtongue, and it's just
We're
it's
going to get there.
thousands upon thousands of troops, and we're just like, okay, well, that's done.
Just need a few trees.
Real talk, if we see that, I'm out. I am out.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's clearly not
That is
going to happen.
game. Yep, okay. The GM has cast Summon Tarask.
Or
I
the
get it.
equivalent, the equivalent hit dice monster.
Exactly. Okay. So yeah, I think that should be our plan. Character's name I can't remember. You should look for plants. You should probably actually roll.
Yes. That's it. What should I roll for something like this, if it's possible even?
Yeah, roll plants.
Roll no. Or medicine? Is medicine a thing? No.
Heal, maybe?
Heal might work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the reverse.
Yeah, we get there. There's an archdemon, exactly.
Oh,
Just hanging out.
Yep. It's a Tuesday.
Try heal.
So as usual, Third is the only one of us who can roll something higher than a 2.
Well, I have the feat for heal at level 2. That's why. Everything else is going to suck out loud.
Sorry, I was just looking at the skills. Yeah, there is a heal. Okay. Sorry, it's been a while. Oh, geez. Okay. So what are you trying to do with that heal roll?
Trying to find like plants, things I could perhaps mash up into ingestible liquid or pulp or whatever that could play some foodstuffs, drinks that would make the imbiber at the very most dead, at the very least violently ill. Now I realize it's a little bit of a long shot, but maybe I can be like, oh well, this has certain properties that are familiar.
So give me a wisdom survive roll as well,
Okay.
because that's going to determine if you can identify plants. Okay. So
Doing some Boy Scouting here.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can recognize some of the plants, but some of them look like they may have like descended from something, but you're not sure.
Yeah, like I mean, at this point, it's going to be a lot of guessing. Really, so
Yeah. But for those that you can identify, I mean, yeah, I would say poison oak, but it's definitely a more aggressive strain. It actually, the vine tries to snap at you.
I come back, we're holding it. Oh, this is perfect. No.
There's some stinging nettles that actually have thorns. If you can think of something that would be in the Pacific Northwest that is likely to be poisonous of some kind, that would be fairly easily recognizable, it's probably going to be there, and it's probably going to be more aggressive.
I got it. So you said there is what looks to be like a descendant of poison oak and such there?
Uh-huh.
All right, I know this is like terrible, terrible biological warfare, and I've been on the receiving end of this. Get a whole bunch of it, and then burn it, and let the smoke just waft through the area.
That's cold. That's super cold, dude.
I agree with this plan. Let's
Wow.
do it.
It's cruel and unusual punishment.
That's
but
horrifying.
that will literally disable a whole bunch of people if there's.
You have gained 100 dark side points.
Morality.
Why was my karma so low?
that is evil, but given the situation, in character, I approve. We need every edge we can get against the unstoppable crab monsters.
Okay. So you're collecting poison ivy or poison oak?
I can help to cut it off with the blade scythe to prevent direct contact. We probably have a bag, you know.
Mhm.
Could rip someone's shirt off to.
Yeah, we're definitely burning like the whole bag. We're not going to get this oil all over us.
Yeah, no, we're taking precautions to not get this crap on us. Is the idea here? Guido's like, I want you to roll for not getting it on you. No, please, come on. Don't make me rely on the dice.
I mean, honestly, if we get it on our skin, that's not the worst thing in the world.
You say that now.
Having experienced it personally, it's pretty close.
I was going to say, I've actually had a full-on poison oak outbreak in real life, and that was not fun.
Gotcha. I've had like full face poison oak.
Oh God.
I've had it in my throat because it got inside. Whoops. It got inside me.
Nope. Yeah, that's no.
So like hand contact, like it's fine compared to some of the other stuff. At the very least, you can function with it. And then we can itch after Big Ben's dead.
So what if we turn it into perhaps an aerosol?
Well,
Like
that's kind of what they're talking about doing.
I mean,
Right,
yeah.
but like turn it into like a mace that you can like spray in the eyes.
Oh, God.
And
Let me find the
Yeah,
Okay.
and how are you going to do that? yeah, exactly.
I like this plan. I just don't know how to make it happen.
Yeah, no.
Are all three of you or all six of you trying to collect the poison oak as you go?
Let's say 3. Let's
Okay.
not risk them and their we know how to hit things coarsely hands with this task.
Really? They've been trying to cut this bush with a club for the past half hour.
Look, I can hit here. Have the scythe, dude. We can pass it around. It's cool. I'm not bogarting the scythe.
Yeah.
In combat, I will be because I hit like a truck, but
Oh, and it's not actually a plasma scythe. It's a monoblade.
Sorry, for some reason I was thinking Gundam.
Well, this is much less cool hands at that.
This is super logical. I just toss it over the side of the road.
Cuts to the core of the earth.
Yeah. That seems bad.
So,
Yeah, so basically, 3 people watch 3 people gathering.
okay, so the three of you are collecting poison oak that is basically whipping out and trying to wrap around your legs and arms. And just because I love the visual of it, do you remember, hold on, Little Shop of Horrors?
Mm-hmm.
Audrey too.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
So-
so it's hissing at us, or saying "feed me."
It's not actually talking. It doesn't
Okay.
have a tongue and teeth and everything, but it's, yeah. Just because I love that visual of it.
That's pleasant.
So go ahead and each of you give me an athletics dexterity roll.
Don't know how to do this.
I mean, exert, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Athletics was the old system, and
I
I was-
know. I'm
okay.
just
I
perusing.
thought I
it
was
like,
blind for a minute there.
maybe it's bugged. Maybe I'm just completely
No.
out of it. No. Okay. So, exert dexterity.
wow, nice. Okay.
So, how many of us have terminal poison oak?
It's fun, guys. It's good. Fast acting too.
Oh, good. That's one.
Okay. Jay and Hank, go ahead and give me a physical save.
Oh, that's safe. There you go.
I'm so sorry. Oh,
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
For being on the farm.
Yeah, Hank, you almost get hit, but you dodge it surprisingly easily. Jay, you're going to have your leg wrapped up by one of the vines. It's easy enough to cut the vine and get out of it. But there's a couple of spots of the thorn that poke through your pants that you're pretty sure you're going to be feeling that in a couple hours.
all right. Do you want me to chop off your leg, Jay?
I was going to just have him burn the pants.
Yes,
I
give me,
also-
give me the mother filament.
All right, here you go. Godspeed, man.
Actually, I changed my mind.
Give me that back.
Let's do this quickly.
Okay, so
I mean, it's a monofilament. It's going to be real quick.
Fair.
So we have our bio weapon.
so it's several hours to get to Digger Springs.
I thought it was days, honestly.
Um,
I mean, I hate to make this take even longer, but I figured this is the long haul, you know?
Okay. I will rephrase. You are right. So if you book it, you can get there in a day.
Hmm.
If if you are going to be collecting the poison oak on the way, it's going to take longer. If you are going to be being careful collecting the poison oak, it's going to take longer. I'm assuming because of the description that you were providing, you are planning on being careful.
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to take about 2 days to get there.
Riding through the desert on a horse with no name.
All
Sure.
right.
We take 2 days.
All right. So are you doing anything else on the trip?
Itching, probably.
Oh, yeah. Your leg's itching.
You sure you don't want me to chop that off?
No, this is great. This means it's going to work.
It's the psychosis means it's working.
Is that what we're going with? No, but seriously, are you guys planning on doing anything else on your way?
Just keeping an eye on tracks and making sure we're still going in the right direction.
Okay.
I am basically, in fact, I would say we are probably on rotation while traveling for watching for ambushes or patrols or advanced scouts or whatever, basically. We want to see them before they see us.
Okay. Pretty much the only thing that you guys run into on the trip is some wildlife, which because you guys are keeping watch, and I'm not going to make you roll notice or anything, you guys are able to notice it before it becomes a threat. There's a porcupine that's about the size of a horse that you guys avoid. Some kind of lizard thing that what would the lizard thing be? I'm making this up as I go. So the lizard thing is a little bit bigger than a Komodo dragon. You're watching it, and it has the tongue of a frog that shoots out, but at the end of the tongue, instead of being sticky, it's a spike.
So get over here.
Yeah.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
Favor and kill it as we pass.
Tame this creature.
You also see some giant mosquitoes that try and, if there were any cows around, they could probably fly off with a cow. You know, Alabama mosquitoes.
We do the world a favor and kill them.
Yeah. With enthusiasm.
But like I said, you guys are on watch, and so you avoid the conflict. So, so about 10 o'clock, the morning of the second day. No, it'd be 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the second day. You guys are approaching Digger Springs. You hear a commotion coming from the town that you definitely had not heard that kind of noise coming from the town before when you were there, or basically when you guys left.
Is it
We
like
roll
people or
scout.
mechanical, or
Wait, what was that? Third?
is it like a people or mechanical noises, or?
It sounds like a lot of voices talking over one another.
Okay.
But it's definitely a lot of voices to be carrying this far.
So you want me to go scout, you said? I forget what you're going by right now, Matthew. But
M something.
You know him as Jonathan.
What's our various sneak skills?
I have a. I don't have a negative.
That's better than
Neither
me.
do I have 0.
So I should not be a scout. It's okay. My blade is no longer glowing plasma, so I'm slightly stealthier than I thought I was, but I'm at a -1 on sneak. So
I think I'm technically at a +1 just because of my dex, but that's it.
So yeah, I go, man, stealth.
Hold on,
Find it.
I was checking Miho just to see. No, she's even worse. All right. I'll do a little bit of sneaking up. And by the way, just because this may become relevant pretty soon, what's our rate of healing since we've been traveling a few days? I know I'm down.
That's a good point. I am not at full health.
You guys don't have any med kits, so it's your Constitution modifier. You know what? I'll be generous. Each day, it's your Constitution modifier, and then I'll give you each 1d4 on top of that.
Okay. Because it was 0 divided by 0. Carry the 0.
Divided by 0?
Yeah. Still 0.
I'm not even going to roll the d4. I'm at full health, just from the con bonus.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm not. Hang on.
So then I guess I'm going to try and sneak up as best as I can to see what is going on. Now, if I recall correctly, there was like some mining entrances and stuff you kind of weave through to get there.
Some what? Mining entrances?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
There are mining, basically holes in the ground. Some of them are into hills, so it's more, more vertical. Some are nearly flat.
Okay, so I'll try and keep low and use those as cover to see what's going on here.
Okay.
Here goes nothing. Wait, there isn't a super... Never mind, I won't use it right now. I'm forgetting what my expert stuff does, and then... I think I get something weird because of expert, or I can re-roll it or something like that, right?
Sorry, I was laughing at Cord's comments and in an inappropriate nature. What was your question?
I'm just making sure to use expert stuff. I don't have to declare it first because I'm not 100% remembering what it was. Yeah, it is before. Oh, okay. It's once per scene. Okay. So I can just go ahead and roll it. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Not the worst thing in the world.
All right. And so what's your plan? You said you were keeping low and trying to remain unnoticed, but what's your plan?
My plan is to get close enough to figure out what all of this commotion is about, what they're doing. Are they having a town hall meeting? Is there a riot? Like, what's going on here?
Okay.
I just need info.
So you can definitely get close enough to see what's going on. Ahead of you, you can see what looks like the entire population of the town is amassing on the south side of town. And there are members of Big Ben's mercenaries who are walking amongst them, handing out weapons and pieces of armor. When I say the entire population of the town, I mean not only the fighting men, but women and children as well.
So they're conscripting everybody.
Yes.
Do they look happy about this?
No one looks happy.
Okay.
Well, that's not entirely true. I would say probably 70% of the people that you can see don't look happy.
Okay, so I can probably insight that most of these people are being forced into doing this.
I mean, that is what conscription means,
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
like it or not.
okay. All right, so I'll watch that for a second. What are there weapons of any quality, or are they basically what we've seen before?
Most of them are makeshift sharp items. I mean, you can see something that looks like a hubcap that's been attached to a stick and sharpened. Um, Other pieces of metal that are, that attached to spears. Some people have what look like makeshift firearms. I'll say old flintlocks, but it's like a brand new makeshift. Looks like a flintlock. So
Okay.
anything that it's basically anything that they can get their hands on or fab has been created.
Okay. Is Big Ben or any of the other ones that I can see that are not being ones being conscripted, are they like saying anything in particular? Like, we're going to march at exactly 5:52 p.m. tomorrow on a town or anything like that?
You're really not close enough to hear specific words.
Okay.
Not that I'm there, but you could see things like formations or organization setup or, something to indicate the kind of mobilization they're doing.
Probably, but he's not like military or soldier guy or even tactical at all.
I'll give you this. I mean, even without being a military history, even without having a military history, you can tell that basically that same 70% has no idea what a formation is.
They are in formation like you would be.
Are they all wearing Russian uniforms?
Uniform?
Right.
Hey, Echo. Good to see you, man.
Okay, so I'll come back to the group, assuming to make it out of there. Okay.
Yeah, you can make it back. You didn't do anything to draw attention to yourself, so I'm not even going to make you roll another sneak.
Okay.
So
And
yeah,
I'll tell them what I saw. Approximately how many people are we talking about?
about 800.
Okay, more than I can count in two hands.
Yeah.
We could take them.
I honestly do think we could, but I've already stated my opinion on that.
Okay, so I'll go back and essentially, open my mouth and everything that you've just said comes out.
Okay.
So
I don't suppose you saw Ben.
did I?
I mean, he'd be pretty obvious even in that kind of a crowd.
Yeah, as big as Big Ben is, you would have seen him. You're pretty sure that you caught a glimpse of him in the back, passing like between buildings, but he wasn't up front.
Yeah, so I think I saw him, but there's no way I was getting closer to that huge crowd without drawing attention.
No, that makes sense. So I'm thinking go the long way around and approach from the other side. Thoughts?
I don't see why not. I suppose. I mean, obviously they're going to march on the town, but are we wanting to just let most of these people leave?
I mean, I'm curious of what the alternative is.
I don't know. Well, if we want to do some warfare, they all are grouped up in the center of town like right now.
Oh, that's a good point. What? So, do any of us have enough of a brain to tell which direction the wind is coming from?
What would we roll for that?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not sure if that's a roll since that's basic observation, but
Actually, no. Give me a notice roll.
oh god, here we go.
All right.
There's no wind today.
That could be a problem.
8. God, that's our best roll. Is an 8. We are the blind team.
Jay, you are fairly certain that the wind is blowing east to west.
So we got a little bit. So if we plant it on the east side, then probably get a little bit that wafts in there. Were there some other fires and stuff going in town?
Not in town.
Not in town.
Damn.
Okay. So
I was thinking the same thing. If there's a bonfire or something, just get in there.
well, why don't we start circling around? Because we
Yeah,
need to check
I
that out
agree.
anyway for other places.
Yeah.
One other thing I'm going to give you here. You do notice that the ground is not as moist as it was when you were here last. Remember, it was kind of swampy?
Yeah.
It's
So,
not.
Guys, we're fighting an earth spirit. Or a
Well,
fae. That'd be much
Ben
worse.
drawing the power of the moisture into himself. Is that what
Yes.
you're thinking?
You know, he's Clayface.
Clayface is famous for fighting with water.
Hence the name.
Okay. No, yeah, I don't see any other path. I say we kind of get to the east side and unleash our biological weapons.
Clayface, the waterbender.
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't that what he
checks out.
does?
Yeah.
Sure. That's work.
It's, yeah. Not as well known as Taserface the Firebender, but you know.
Taserface is just an amazing bender, though. You can't argue that one.
Yeah. And then there's Taterface, the rock bender.
He's, well, you know, what can you do about him? He's just a lost cause, honestly.
Yeah.
Our companions
So-
abandoned us. Okay. So we're going around to the east side, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
We wish to approach this from the direction of, you know, being capable of unleashing hell. upon
Okay.
us.
So you're heading upwind.
Yes, so hopefully we've taken a bath lately. I
Yeah.
doubt they can smell us, honestly. Not in that crowd. They're smelling each other.
You know, bathing has never really become a big priority for a lot of the scavengers.
Weird how that works out.
Also, do you want to bathe in nano water? I don't.
They don't know it's nano water. Oh, you mean for us, though? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I would rather not, thank you. If we
Okay.
could put that fate, that would be cool.
All right. So you guys are heading around to the east side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and each of you give me a no roll.
Okay.
What stat you want me to use?
Intelligence.
Oh,
This
like
is to
that.
see if you remember something.
Oh, jeez.
Nope.
Not my best.
So Hank,
Mhm.
as I was saying earlier, the swampiness of the ground is significantly reduced. As you guys are heading over to the east side of the town, you remember that this is the side of the town that the river used to be on.
Okay.
You also remember that Big Ben was accusing you, or possibly Broke Tree, of damming the river.
I do remember that. I never made anything of that because we never followed through on that. We were dealing with a
Yeah.
genocidal madman.
You notice that the river and all the little capillaries that used to feed the earth that made it swampy has been reduced from a river to the equivalent of a small creek.
Okay. That seems odd. And if I remember correctly, it's the ship crash site, then Digger Springs, and then Broke Trees down the way.
Yep.
Okay. So would the water runoff technically be from the mountain that we blew up?
The water runoff, you mean?
Yeah. Like sort of like mountain stream water or waterfalls or what have you, would it
You know what?
collect and go through there?
With that roll of an 11, I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't dam it, but we damaged it by blowing it up.
I'll go ahead and just give this to you.
Okay.
With this realization, when you blew up the mountain, you redirected the river that was coming down the mountain.
Snap. Okay. So the water filtration system is really not doing them much good anyway, because
There is no water to filter.
To filter, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you are the only one that has come to this realization.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pull everybody's side. Like, okay, wait. The river's gone. We were accused of doing this. I think we actually did when we blew up the ship. It diverted the water. So this means that I'm assuming it not only diverted the water for Digger Springs, but also for Broke Tree.
Because you remember the water wheel in Broke Tree stopped when the water didn't actually reach it anymore.
Yeah.
So the short version is we've, in the long run, killed both of these towns and settlements, regardless of whatever filtration system they try and use.
Now, they can both move. We just have to figure out where it is now, assuming, and this is the key part, the water source exists still. That's the real part there. I mean, it could have been just completely blocked or dammed, and there is no water source anymore. There's no river. And that would be wonderful if that was true.
Yeah, that's taking it to that next level. All right.
I mean, I got to be honest, I don't really care anymore that Digger Springs doesn't have water.
No, because it doesn't help us defeat them faster, but it, I guess, does provide motivation as to why they...
Well, I mean, I guess, but like the first reaction was to go out and start shooting people.
I mean, on the plus
that's
side,
what I do in the morning.
That's what I do, yeah, too. On the plus side, this does mean that they are pretty much guaranteed to die within the next few days. They'll just die, desperate and screaming and killing all the people in Broke Tree who will also be dead.
Which we can help make that agonizing if we burn this poison oak, and they don't have a way of rinsing it off. Yeah.
Just because screw this town so hard. I hate everyone in this town.
I didn't actually hear what you just said, Laura.
Which part? Sorry.
Right before you hate everyone in the town.
I am honestly more inclined towards the burn the oak plan, because screw these people.
Okay.
I think that what we need to do, so okay, in character, okay. Let me put on my character mask.
Which one?
Oh, there we go.
Our Lissendolf is, or wait.
Is this Matthias, Jonathan, Michael, or Martin?
This is Mandarin.
Mandarin. Oh, it's a new one. God.
Yes. Brandon.
All right.
I really need to be writing these down.
No, I'm kidding. But in character, so they're desperate. They think either we did it or Broke Tree did it, which kind of explains how they could rope the citizens into this. Although, if we're being 100% honest, they have the weapons and power. They don't need to give them motivation. The citizens are going to be press gang no matter what, right? If these were reasonable, decent individuals, my first thought would be let's walk up and try and talk our way through this. Anyone think that's even remotely possible?
Not with the weapons they're handing out.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to go up there, break Big Ben in half and say, "Follow me, I know where some water is," you could probably get them on your side. But
yeah, but that would require knowing where Big Ben is, which is something we're still not sure of, and reaching Big Ben, which is going to be a bit of an issue in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
So we could still go for that. That could still be our overall plan. Just we need to alpha strike Big Ben.
And then
then
try and
find
regroup.
where this river has gone, assuming it has actually been redirected somewhere that is feasible to literally reposition the town to.
We could trace it back and see if we can find the source, but that takes us away from our current objective.
See, the thing is, if not for the obvious time limitations here, I would say we should do that now.
Mhm.
But what I'm looking at, and by what I'm looking at, I mean what he's looking at, because I'm blind as a bat because I'm wearing sunglasses. What I'm looking at in my mind
Mhm.
is that they're getting ready to march probably now.
Yeah.
Like within a day at the outside, I would say. And that means we're out of time.
Yep.
They're going to march all over Broke Tree and kill and destroy a lot of people for no reason. And then they will die of dehydration.
Thus completing the circle of life.
Yeah. So we have two options. Legit. Okay.
Mhm.
Option one,
Mhm.
we leave and let them all die. Option two, we try and probably die in the process to reach Big Ben and try to salvage the situation. Thoughts?
We light, we light the oak and see what happens next.
I do think lighting the oak should still be our first move, no matter what. If nothing else, it's going to be a wonderful distraction.
So fire for effect and then assess.
Yeah.
Okay. That seems fair.
And it's going to take, what, like an hour? How long did it take for you to start itching?
Oh, look down at my leg, which is like, obviously
On fire.
Oh.
Oh, that seems bad.
Within like 3 or 4 hours, I think, right?
Oh yeah, I would say probably within about an hour you noticed it.
Okay,
Oh,
so yeah, let's get this started now. Basically, let's get going. I'm going to cake myself in some dirt and dust to try and give myself a little bit of protection in case the wind shifts.
Okay, Arnold.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll Predator. Sure, we'll do
I
this.
wasn't even thinking about that. I have actually in real life done the dirt trick to try and prevent exposure. So, however, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
All right. So there's been something that has been carrying around for many sessions.
Uh-oh.
It is a box of 20 matches.
It's true. I remember that.
Yes.
Oh, God, that's right.
So we have a way to
Oh.
start this off.
Well
That's
then,
funny.
good sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not going to make you roll survival or anything.
Thank God. I was just picturing how badly this could go. Trying to roll to and people are like, "What's that noise?" and fire over there.
As amusing as it would be to make you try and scavenge burnable stuff to make your fire with, there is enough dry material that you can collect. I'm not going to make you roll survival for it. So you can build something to make a fire to put your poison ivy on, poison oak. So you guys are making your fire. What's your plan? You're just gonna start it and watch it burn.
I mean, basically, probably like back off and. let it warm up.
I was thinking.
No, it takes about an hour to.
We start fanning it a little bit, get it really going.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I also would like to. So I imagine we've been traveling for 2 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine we have a considerable amount of death oak.
I mean, I don't know what you've been carrying it in, but
I know all three of us have at least our original bags, and so if nothing else, we probably have that much oak, and we should never use those bags again. And so
Never.
I'm thinking of making like a line of it, make it a little harder to just snuff out with a little bit of dirt. You know what I mean?
I'm just wondering how flammable those bags would be.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Well, is the oil itself flammable under the right conditions?
Flammable?
Mm,
I wouldn't say poison oak oil is flammable. It would be more, I mean, it would hold a flame longer
Right.
because it's an oil, but it's not flammable.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically just building a fire and throwing it on top of it, and it's.
I'm just trying to maximize. Don't mind me. I rolled to min max. Hang on. Let's see. No, maybe int.
For
Survive.
what?
I really do just want to min max this fire. I want to make it hard to put out. I want to make it nice and big, and I want to make sure that as much of it is getting on them as possible.
Intelligence survive.
Okay. I'm going to roll crap, so I want you guys to help me on this. I didn't even roll a 1 in that.
You're pretty sure if you throw the staff that Hank got earlier on the fire, it'll help it burn.
Guys, we should throw the staff on the fire. What do you guys think? Maybe we should roll. We just roll.
No, it's fine. You know,
Roll.
I mean, it's petrified though. So how does that work?
It doesn't. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
no. What the? Rolled 11.
They rolled high, so
For you're trying to start the fire. What's your survival roll for?
making it horrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bags that you guys have been carrying, they are part of the survival pack from the escape pod from the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. Yes.
Mhm.
So being material from the 23rd century or whatever it is, that
Mostly
material, not so much. It's basically the same material that the survival suits are made out of. The Fallout suits that I said you guys were wearing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really not going to burn, at least not easily. If you get a roaring fire going, they'll burn, and they'll burn like a tire once they get going. But getting it to burn, it's not going to be good to try and start a fire with. So you'll want to get the poison oak out of the bag, or you're going to be trying to start the fire in the bag. So it's going to be some kind of combination of that.
I'm thinking.
So just dumping it out in a line. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
So you're making a line of fire then? You're dumping it out and making just a long line?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, not super thin, so we can't actually light anything up, but
Okay. I mean, like I said, though, you guys have enough material to be able to make a fire.
Yeah.
It's just how it's going to end up being built. That's the question at this point. So.
Okay, well, like you said, a line of fire then.
Okay. Are you going to just start it at one end and let it burn, hoping that it will burn longer? Or like both ends in the middle?
I think we'll probably do both ends.
Okay. Let it just burn towards the center?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Takes a couple of minutes to construct everything you need to make something that'll burn. Like I said, though, there's enough material. It's not difficult. And with Miho's fire starters, the matches, it lights fairly readily. Takes a couple of matches, but it gets going. So you've got the fire going. Smoke is slowly starting to make its way towards the town.
And by the way, so we came in from the south, right? Initially.
South, and then you went east.
Over to the east, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to go basically north to get above them, if you follow.
Okay.
That's
But
my
still
thinking.
not in the path of the smoke, hopefully.
Exactly. That's the idea.
Yeah.
And hopefully won't get screwed over by sudden shifting wind.
Who knows?
The GM can do all sorts of really mean things right now if he really wanted to.
So like when you sit down next to the campfire, suddenly the wind just shifts, so it's blowing all in your face. That's how it works.
Mhm.
Perfect.
I'll just rest.
Can't breathe. Can't breathe.
What horribleness befalls us, Sir Guido?
So the wind is kind of following you. I mean, it's making its way into town, but it's not going directly Wait, let me think about this. Do I want to be a real bastard, or do I want to be just a little bit of a bastard?
Vote now at home. Which should he do?
Okay. All right. So I'll just be a little bit of a bastard. So the wind is not blowing directly east-west. It's blowing northwest. So it's as you're heading to the north of town, it's basically following you. So it's passing over or well, through over the troops that are on the west side of town, but it's also going through town towards the north side where you have relocated to.
Well, I predict that this is going to go very badly for us in about an hour. That's nice.
Just blow really hard.
Honestly, I don't have any other plans, though. I really do think we should basically just keep watch, like hunker in somewhere, literally get some foliage over us if we have to, bury ourselves in the mud, whatever, and just watch and see what happens for the next hour or so. Because if we're going to have a chance to really go in, it's either going to be right now, assuming they react, or in about an hour when the symptoms start showing.
Yeah. We either need to find or track Big Ben, or we could start taking people off in the chaos.
So I need one of you, you can decide who, to give me a luck save.
Let's see what my luck is.
Okay, so my luck is V12, whatever the hell that means.
Mine's V12.
Yeah, V12.
So my dice are terrible, so I recommend not me.
I'll do it. Why not?
You
I'm feeling lucky.
Go ahead. There you go. Natural 20.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. Okay, enjoy that. That's the only one you're going to see tonight.
You see it actually redirect and blow into town.
Swirls in the middle.
So the smoke continues to accumulate. Surprisingly, no one is going out to investigate the smoke. However, the town is continuing to amass more people who are being outfitted with gear.
That's fine. Pile them up in the center, and if they are just too busy to figure out what's going on, all the better. We just need to kind of see if this actually works. We're not going to know for
waiting for the first infected.
Okay.
Going, like that, or
okay. So yeah, it's about an hour, give or take. People do start responding. You can see that a lot of people are coughing. Some people are. Have you ever seen people respond to, I was going to say CS gas, like military, okay.
Is that the thing? You go in the room, pull off your mask, and it sucks. And
yeah.
I've not done that.
I've seen footage of it, but that's about it.
Yeah,
right. I figured none of you had actually experienced it. I have. It's miserable.
Yeah, my brother tells me it sucks.
Yeah. Some people are less reactive than others, luckily, but some people are truly, miserable. You can see some people that their faces are getting red, their eyes are watering, their mucus is starting to drain. As people are starting to react, you see a towering figure come out and walking amongst those that have gathered. You can hear, you can't make out words because, again, you're still too far away, but you can hear his booming voice above everyone else, and they start marching south.
All right. Now this is very important. In the formation, where is he?
He is in the middle.
Damn.
Coward.
That's actually that's actually surprising. I really didn't think that would happen.
Yeah, it's actually pretty smart.
So,
What the hell?
Rory, they were good characters.
We're trying to help people, damn it. This guy is an evil bad. Okay, this guy is basically Saruman, all right? We're trying to fix this situation, and he's being a dick. And so we're going to kill him, and hopefully that'll activate the win clause. Because that's how movies work.
Yes.
You just got to kill him, and then time freezes, and we win.
Yep, it's it. We do the high five thing in here. All right. So I'm going to turn to my fellows, and I don't say anything because I'm still pretty paranoid about being spotted, but I just give them a look like.
Now the chase begins. I don't want to go into town right now.
No.
We circle around, and we can take a shot at. So I've got some rounds. So for the rifle that we salvaged from last time, right? Not a whole lot, but some. Which if he's towering over everybody, he's right there.
Actually, give me 1 second. I'm carrying some ammo. Let me see what I've got on me. I have... that's not going to help. I have shotgun and pistol rounds on me. For future reference, though.
Yeah, Mia has a shotgun and 4 rounds total, 2 loaded.
Oh, I should check her, too. I didn't even think about that.
I could try the 1 sniper round we have left.
I've got like a few bow shots left, and that's it.
She's got 21 rounds of her assault rifle. That's what she's got. My companion.
I mean, if it's as you say, and you think taking down Big Ben will end it, especially with people like discouraged.
I mean,
and sick right now.
You challenge me on this presumption. It's just I don't see a lot of other possibilities here, other than bailing and letting everyone die, as previously indicated.
Yeah. So, I mean, the symptoms are only going to get worse. This isn't something that just clears up immediately. So we could follow them for a little bit, and then like strike from the forest or something like that.
But as they're marching, it's going to take them at least 2.5 days.
Or just wait until they go to sleep. I mean, if they choose the forced march, then that actually is even better because they're just going to wear themselves out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually right. They're at a complete disadvantage here. And it's going to take them forever to get down there. You know how slow an army that isn't organized marches? I don't, because I haven't been there, but I have read history.
Yeah.
And I do know how that works out.
So I'm going to go ahead and give you this because you mentioned that. An army only marches as fast as its slowest troops.
Mm-hmm.
The kids?
Yes. No, exactly.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
I forgot about that.
Oh, jeez. They actually employed children.
Oh, yeah. And you can all see them now. I mean, you have... Actually, Matthias, give me a notice roll.
Wisdom, I presume?
Yes.
Notice, there it is. Whoops. Hang on.
A, that's Alita, and B, no.
Hang on. Hang on. Just 1 second. Slight technical difficulties. Please stand by. Let's try that again.
You got the poison ivy in your eyes, too. No.
I can't see. Okay, so notice, wisdom. Let's try this again. There we go. One of those is a 1. I literally rolled a 1 in that. I hate roll 20. That's what it is, guys. It's not my dice. It's not me.
Do you have a D20?
Yeah.
Or wait, no, it'd be 2D6. Do you have 2D6?
I do not. No. I mean, I do somewhere. I'm not even sure where at this point. I give up. So I rolled crap. I noticed nothing. I walk into Jay. Oh, sorry.
You look up, it's actually Big Ben.
Ah!
We thought it was a conscript.
I mean, honestly, that's my backup plan at this point. Blending in. Seriously, once they get past the cloud, it wouldn't be that hard to blend in there. And honestly, I would probably be the go-to for that because I'm the charisma guy, and that would be a charisma stealth, basically.
Yeah, you could try.
But
Kind of like rub dirt all over your face and stuff.
yeah, and just kind of muck in. I mean, I sincerely doubt half these people have ever seen me, ever. They might not even have been given a description of me. I'm not Luke Skywalker.
I mean, what would they say? Like, he's a guy with a face.
Yeah, oh my God. No.
I saw
Sunglasses. He must be the
100 feet away.
Yeah.
And I'm coated in dirt and mud, by the way. Like that's not a made up thing. I am because A, I did that to prevent the initial oak thing, and B, I did that to hide while scouting out to see how bad the oak thing is. So I'm already caked in mud, just coated. So I'm thinking like we follow them a bit. Is this a walrus? We follow them a bit, and yeah, I try to infiltrate and get in there. You take a sniper shot. I take a melee shot. We try to alpha strike him, you know.
Laura, what's your wisdom modifier?
-1.
Okay.
Or no, that's not true. It's 0. My bad.
Okay. So Platy just rolled 2d6 for me. So you actually rolled a 9 on your notice.
Hey!
If it wasn't for Platy, I couldn't see it. My dice are so cursed. Proof! My dice are cursed. When she rolls for me, it's fine. Okay. So do I see anything, DM?
What you see is, do you remember when you first came in to Digger Springs?
Oh,
and
it's his dad, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Yeah, see, those of you at home, they call me the lore runner for a reason. I remember these little things of story. Great. Okay, I beeline for that. Where are they in the formation?
You see them basically near the back, but the kid is rather exuberant and playing around and disappears into the formation, into the marching area ahead of them.
Well, he's going to have a very unpleasant next couple of hours. And there's officially nothing I can do about it at this point, so I can't even feel bad about that. Although, actually, if I may, not that I'm saying I'm going to do this, but from my understanding, the med packs and the way they work would actually cure poison oak.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, basically in lore is how I'm phrasing that. It would effectively be burning a healing item, a healing potion to cure something that has no status effect, kind of a deal.
Yeah. I would, if push comes to shove, I'd allow it.
Yeah. Now, I only have 1 stim pack left, which I believe only has 1 use too. Let me check that.
Yes.
I mean, I believe you. Yep, there it is. So yeah, probably not burning that on that, but you never know. All right. I'm going to make Platy roll a d20.
Okay. Rory, that is exactly correct. Yes.
In our defense, we're not the ones who told them to conscript children into their war of genocide.
Yes. That's true.
Just pointing it out.
Big Ben, the big bad, conscripted the entire town. Women, children, old men, young men, everyone. If you can hold a weapon, guess what? You're conscripted. 13 on your D20.
Okay. So based on that roll, I do not mention noticing them to my comrades.
Okay.
There's just a moment, which you probably don't even see, where I just kind of go, and then reclaim my poker face. And then it's like, well. And so I turn to my fellows in lore, and I'm like, all right, guys. So we could try infiltration. We could try alpha striking. We could all try to sneak in there. What are you thinking, guys? Like we actually, weirdly enough, have the advantage here because we have mobility and we have understanding, and we don't have poison oak. We know
All
where
key
they
features.
are. They don't know where we are.
Yeah.
That's another one. So that's 4 advantages? 4 advantages, yes. I suggest we use these. What are you thinking?
I say we sneak in.
All right, let's do it.
When you say sneak in, what exactly? I, as the GM, am not understanding what your plan is here. So
we wish to appear as if we are part of the army and just kind of start walking into formation, basically.
Yeah. Like we've got the stormtrooper outfits on. We're just taking this Wookiee to the brig.
Yep.
There's a reactor leak. Give us a minute to lock down.
It's very dangerous. Lots of radiation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
High charisma score. Unfortunately, Han rolled a 1 in that particular scene.
Yeah.
So I will not.
Boring conversation anyway.
So Alita's going to
we have
grab your arm. Are you talking about walking into the formation and basically starting combat with everyone that's there, regardless of who they are?
No, we're going after the big dude. And I
Right.
say that with that tone to her in character. Like, I don't want to hurt those people, if I haven't made that clear. I want to hurt him, and I point to the guy who's like 5 feet taller than everyone else.
Yeah, but you realize that if they notice you, they're going to attack you.
Probably would have his actual guards right next to him, wouldn't he?
So the only other option would be to wait until they stop to camp for the night and then try and take
Yeah.
Big Ben while he sleeps.
That is option 2, yeah. There will also be guards there, but at least, there's a chance, however minuscule. Sorry, I was just thinking to myself, what I would normally do is I'd turn to the character and be like, do you have any suggestions? But at that point, that is quite literally asking the GM, hey, you got any ideas?
Give me a charisma roll.
Sure, hang on. Straight charisma. How do I do just straight charisma?
No, don't. I would be biased.
Yeah, you see why I don't want to do that. So that's why give me a second to think about this.
I'll give you this. You can tell by Alita's response that she does not want to try and wander into the marching army. She does not think this is a good idea.
I mean, the alternative is to wait until they tire themselves out, or they camp.
Okay. No, can't do that either. How, for record, how large is this this monoblade scythe? Get ballpark here.
So have you ever seen I'll say, like brass scythe, like the Grim Reaper's scythe?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
Now, this is going to sound like a really dumb question, but I presume no one in there is wielding anything like a scythe. You can see where I'm going with this.
So you can see weapons that definitely need to have 2 hands to wield, whether it's like an improvised bastard sword, clubs, long pieces of sharpened metal. No one has anything that is of high quality like the scythe, but there are several people who have large weapons.
I got nothing. We can wait, see how bad the poison oak gets, see when they rest. There's no way they're going to reach there on one march. That's not even feasible. In real life, in strategy game terms, that will involve them losing troops to death. Because if they try to force march a conscript army of peasant folk across harsh terrain while they have poison oak, there's no way. So I'm going to go ahead and vote that we wait until they take a breather, try to put up camp, and if we get about a day in and they still haven't, well, then they will be much more poison oak than they are right now.
Let's see what happens then.
Okay.
So I hit T. I scroll the thing over to 24 hours. I hit enter.
You cannot rest while enemies are nearby.
Damn it! It's a freaking crab over there.
So you look over at the NPCs. One of them's in the fighting stance. You're like, oh.
So you guys are going to follow at a distance, or?
No, we're going to walk right up and say, "Hey, anyone popcorn, pizza, hot dogs?" Yes, we are cautiously moving at a distance. Oh, and this is also important. I'm going to pull a page out of Hannibal's book here. We're staying rested. We're taking our time. We're making sure that we're at full capacity at all times, basically.
Okay. Jay, what are you doing about your poison oak?
I mean, what can I do right now?
You could try and find some herbs to,
You could use the stim pack.
I mean,
Actually, good question. For real, does anyone else have any stim packs?
no.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, aside from just guessing at herbs, I don't really see a good option aside from tough it out.
Okay. All right. So you guys are following, staying rested. The army's march advances slowly. As I was saying, an army marches as fast as its slowest troops. So, children tire quickly. Elderly tire quickly. There are some elderly that start falling out and flagging back. And a couple of them, there are some of Big Ben's personal guard who come back and try and motivate them. Those that don't get motivated are killed.
So yeah, to reiterate for our viewers, whatever we have done is nothing compared to that jackass. Just want to make that clear.
They march for about 6 hours and stop.
God, that's actually kind of pathetic. Obviously, and the best part is they can't even make camp in the traditional sense. They could just stop and sit down on the dirt and the muck and whatever else happens to be around here, avoiding poison oak plants, which happen to this area, which we know because we just came through this place.
But there's a lot less.
That's true. For some reason, okay, I'd like us. Hey, Jay, wake up, Jay, wake up, Mac, wake up.
Stop hitting me on my leg. Why are you hitting me in my leg?
What do your elf eyes see up there? I'm asking you to do a spot check.
I don't think I'm any better at notice than anyone else.
I'm also going to do a spot check, but I'll mention this to Hank as well. It's like, oh, see, and that's why. Do you see what I just rolled? I literally just rolled a critical failure, a 1 and also a 1.
I would face upwards from the ground.
Blind. And you two, oh my God. So do any of them?
So Matthias, as you're asking Jay to look at whatever it is that you're asking him to look at, you actually run into a tree.
Oh.
Where did that come from? It just jumped out in front of me.
Let me take these off. That'll probably help a little bit. Just kind of put those off to the side there. All right. All right. So, as I was saying.
Wait, who are you?
Infiltrator.
Superman effect. Okay.
It's a changeling.
I want to know how our biological warfare is progressing, basically.
Oh, okay. So I'll take a look up there and see what the suffering's like.
The people that were suffering the worst,
Okay.
So some of them had dropped out of the march previously, and as I described, when they did, the guards just killed them, took their gear, their weapons, and distributed it to other people. Those that were able to maintain the march are, you can tell that a lot of them are in severe discomfort. Some of them are actually like coughing up blood. Some of them are just mostly blind, whether from, the constant eye watering or faces just being so swollen, but they're still able to maintain marching with people's assistance, basically, directing them, walk this way. So, but
Less literal penalty of death, I imagine.
When the option is march or die.
Now, I imagine with our 7s we don't get this, but basically, I want to know if the actual, I'm just going to call them actual troops, the actual forces are being afflicted by this as well.
There are a couple that have definitely been affected, but they have not dropped out.
Yeah, obviously. And the final question, has Big Ben been showing any signs?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Either because he's a mutant or didn't get enough exposure.
You also have noticed that as the army has been marching, he often walks on not only his hind legs, but he drops down to walk on basically 4 legs.
Hate this guy.
He's just showing off. All right. How close are we to Poetry?
You're still, it's at this rate, it's probably going to be at least another 2 days.
Okay.
Probably longer because
drop out and kill themselves. Now that we've seen them when they're in the resting state, like whether there's everybody just kind of like scattered and dropped or what? I guess I'm trying to see if we were to strike on one of these nights, do we basically just have a clear shot at Big Ben?
most of these people have never camped before. So they're just staggered around. They're basically on the road, either laying in the road or just off. Some of them have found rocks to sit on, rocks to use as pillows.
Okay, and Big Ben's still like a big target, especially with people sitting down. So we could literally just like brace on a tree and just like bang if we wanted to. I'm assuming he's not moving.
He's occasionally wandering around, but yes.
All right. Well, I say we wait at least one more night to thin it out some more, and then literally just snipe him. Obviously, he's probably not going to go down, but these conscripts are going to run away when stuff starts breaking out. Probably, his troops are going to try and fight, but I don't know. It's my best idea.
I mean, my best thought is to circle around to the guerrilla thing again, but I really don't want to I don't roll all those rolls. Like, the idea here is not to kill off the random people. Obviously, it's to identify, because the troops are going to be pretty obvious in this group. There's troops and then there's peasants, to put it into terminology. And I have a strong feeling that the troops are like, there's one, there's one, there's one. And it would be awesome if any of them roamed from the herd sufficiently to cull, basically. But that's basically a wait and see kind of attitude, hoping that we get an opportunity to maybe kill one and possibly not get detected in the process.
Yeah.
But that's a huge risk, so that's up to you guys.
I think I'd rather just, try to hit him hard, fast, and then basically beat feet, and I'll just wait for him to fall apart after that.
More of a shock and awe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just waiting for the army to start marching again, follow, and wait for another rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. I don't have my tokens. So here's a save state. So
dear.
what I actually do is I kind of sneak up and I roll a lot of charisma scores, which I'll roll 20s on. And I convince people that what they're actually marching towards is this direction. And I march them towards the ship, which is actually a cliff now, okay? And I go up to the top of the cliff and I say,
So
I can't remember the speech he gives, but and then the water just gushes out all over them. Mad Max Fury Road for what I'm referencing here.
I'm gonna go with no.
Oh, come on! The irony is, I was actually having a legitimate thought of using knowledge of the actual water source to our advantage, but that would take an inordinate amount of time and convincing. And we have one of those things. We're also in the wrong direction right now, so that's a plus. So I think we should go ahead with kill Hitler plan. Who's with me?
Yes.
That seems like a good plan.
All right, let's go kill Hitler.
Just need a time machine and okay.
All right. So you're waiting for another rest from the army? Okay. So the army rests for probably about an hour, and then it picks up again and marches for another 6. They lose probably another 20 people in that time. When I say lose, I mean kill. And
as a quick aside, how are the people taking the brutal murder of their own people?
They are. Give me a notice roll.
God damn it! You had to make me roll, didn't you? I was just trying to slide that in there without a dice roll. Someone else roll with me, please.
All right.
And that's why. That's why I want someone else to roll with me.
Hank, you can you recognize absolute fear. These people are scared of not doing what they're told here.
Okay. And are all the orders, or primarily all the orders, coming from Big Ben?
Between Big Ben and his group of mercenaries.
Okay. Because I'm wondering how much of a linchpin he actually is. But if he has...
I mean, he doesn't have to tell his troops to go back and kill each person individually. They're wandering through the ranks, and as people fall out, they're again trying to motivate them. If they're done, they're just all right. Well,
they're retired.
Yep.
Okay.
So it doesn't take a direct order from Big Ben.
So if we're going to do this and we want to keep it semi possible for people to get away, I think the rest of the team should spread out away from me, and I'll, for the single shot that I have, it's gonna give away my position the second I shoot. So if I hit or miss, it's gonna give away my position. So you guys should not be around me when I take aim and shoot. But I'm gonna try and see if I can get a good solid shot on Big Ben when he's not paying attention and isn't stationary. Obviously, that's not when he's actually sleeping, because you can't really do that from a flat shot. Maybe from orbit. I should do that from orbit.
All right, we'll wait while you get in position.
Yeah. This might take a while. Hold on.
Build a rocket.
I'll just drop the sniper rifle. I don't actually need to shoot it. I'll just drop it from orbit. That'll work.
All right.
But yeah, I'm thinking about setting up shop and trying to get a good, clean shot on him and not have anybody else around me. That way, if it gives away position, I can run and draw them away. And he might be able to circle around.
So yeah, let's do that. I mean, we can, at the very least, get a little bit away, and once you fire off your shot, we can follow up. Hopefully, they'll split up, or just at least be confused as to where they go. Because I'm almost guaranteed the conscripted people will just basically panic or just do whatever. So
yeah, hopefully they'll just bolt in the other direction if they take fire.
Mm-hmm. Is there any chance I could retcon in an action over the last 2 travel periods, Guido?
Depends on what.
Caltrops.
No.
Oh, that's mean. No. Because the best part is there's no avoiding it, really. It'd be like, all right, move around this way. What? Oh, ow! No.
You have to get around front, and, it's...
I could do that. No, what I want to do...
With your rolling?
Fair.
Hey, go ahead. What?
I want to basically separate from my group for a brief period of time. And basically, the idea would be to do this at least once, preferably more than once. What I want to do is I want to start a rumor amongst the troops. I want to get in there far enough so I could talk to the outliers, right? And mention, hang on. Getting character. Oh my God. Can't believe Big Ben's making us do this, especially after he cut off all the water. Something like that. And I want to spread that rumor into that army. Now, I'm pretty confident in the charisma side of that. I'm not sure about the rest of that.
Are you going alone, or are you taking a lead? Okay.
No, I'd be going alone.
Okay.
Absolutely. The idea would be to find a spot or a chunk of the roaming mob. So, full Dishonored mode here. Forgive me. I'm sitting and watching, and by sitting I mean I'm moving and watching and moving and watching. And like I said earlier, the enforcers, the troops, they're easy to identify. So I'd wait for a moment in which you can't really see the troop in like this corner or this corner or this aft. And then I'd kind of just shuffle in really quick. Oh God. Oh, and then lie. And then try to get out as quickly as possible. The getting out, actually, in my opinion, if I was GMing this, I'd say getting out would be much harder since the people getting out are dying. So I would have to stealth out.
You'd need to stealth in, too.
Yeah, but that's going to be easier, really. honestly, if nothing else, I could increase my pace, get alongside them, and sidle in, which is going to be a lot easier. It's getting out that's really the tricky part, because I have to basically get out completely unnoticed. No one's really going to care if one roaming stray roams back into the herd of kittens, right? But given that they are actively going out of the way to, and I'm just going to call it what it is, murdering the people who leave the pack, they will be watching for anyone who strays out, right? So I think that's the biggest point of failure right there, and that's the biggest reason why I would probably tell me no in this case. Which is unfortunate, because I should have thought of this earlier, but whatever.
Let me put it this way. Are you sure?
So, okay. Now, I get why you're asking me that, but as a player, this is a Kobayashi Maru. This is a uniquely constructed situation which we cannot win. So,
Or is it?
No, it is. This is a no-win
Yeah,
scenario.
it is.
So, given the circumstances, I think lateral thinking is something that is called for. Now, I do have a follow-up question, which may add a plus or two to my roll eventually, and that is, how dusty is it?
During the march, there is a haze of dust over the ground.
And you probably know why I'm asking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is still moist enough in the air and the surrounding areas that you are not getting a cloud of dust.
Damn. All right. I think based on that in character, I will decide not to, because my character is not built for stealth, and he's not known for stealth in character as well as in gameplay terms. So without the dust cover to help / give pluses, I don't think I'm going to go for it.
Oh, yeah, there is no other dust. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, for God's sake. I have a backup plan I could use in a similar vein. I'll go with that, I guess. I'm ready for you guys to alpha strike. I'm getting into sprinting mode. I'm doing my stretches. I'm getting ready here.
Okay. All right. Get into position.
Okay.
Do you want Miho with you because she's got a shotgun?
With me?
No.
I was going to say. Damn, right.
No, with Hank.
Kyra's got a pistol, so I have somebody else that can back me up.
Okay.
As well. I think we shouldn't have more than 2 at my position, myself included.
Okay.
In case they just rush us.
All right, then. I'll take Miho and go set up, a bit of a ways away from you.
Okay.
Okay. So you are shooting into the crowd trying to hit Big Ben?
Yes.
Okay. Then on that note,
No note.
On that note,
And then the Reapers show up. Great, I knew it.
Exactly. That would actually be hysterical. We're in the middle of this.
It's like, okay, we're getting ready.
And then just a freaking Reaper descends and just starts across the area.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, you ever heard of the concept of giant space flea from nowhere? That's what that would be.
It says, they've arrived just in time.
You two are about to do something very stupid.
as you finish describing your plan, you hear a faint scrape of metal behind you, and a cool breeze passes across your throat. Jay, you feel a sharp pain in your side. Hank, you reach up to adjust your collar. When you pull your hand away, you are confused by a strange, warm, wet sensation. Suddenly, you realize it has become very quiet. Looking down, you see your hand is covered in blood, and the warm wetness is spreading quickly down your shirt front. As the horror of what has occurred sets in, your vision starts to dim. Looking up at your companions, you see them looking around, bewildered, as you realize you have fallen to your knees. You try to cry out and only manage a thin, wet gurgle. As your vision fades to black, you helplessly fall forward onto the grass, desperately clutching your throat. In the deafening silence, the last thing you see is your NPC's boots walking away from you.
Oh,
Honestly, called that.
they sabotaged us.
You're talking about going in and attacking women and children. No.
No, I'm okay.
I mean, that's not true, but they could
Right. Yeah.
In the days and weeks that follow, Big Ben's army washes over Broke Tree. There is no resistance from the remaining villagers, nor are there any survivors. With the river dried up, the inhabitants of Digger Springs find that the earth is now too hard to mine for tradable relics, and slowly, the lucky ones escape from Big Ben's control and vanish into the surrounding wasteland. Some are fortunate enough to become farmers, others resorting to banditry. Stories of the massacre of Broke Tree are whispered in fear far and wide. Big Ben's marauding army grows as thieves and cutthroats come out of the woodwork to join his coalition as they spread like a disease throughout the Pacific Northwest.
They'd be dead.
Who?
Everyone. They had no water. 4 days.
There were enough that survived that they grew.
Man. All right.
Now, Guido, what I want you to do is I want you to let me to take over as narrator really quick. Trust me.
Okay.
Looking down from his notes, the scanning operator finished compiling his report on the latest series of events in, I forget the name of the region, Pacific Northwest. His boots clicked smartly as he walked up the bridge of the Star Destroyer, walked back, gave this to the captain who read it over. Hang on, sound effects. It's quite a big list. Took him a while. He was reading at his own leisure. And finally, pulled out a specific page and said, "What are these idiots doing there?" I don't know what you mean. There's these 3 idiots. What are they doing there? I don't know, sir. In fact, we had trouble finding their bodies. They were consumed by poison oak very shortly thereafter. One of them turned into an oak mutant. We're not even sure. They seem to still have a human leg, though. Okay.
That checks out.
Yep. Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge recommendation for a base Delta Zero. And the entire planet was destroyed.
Exterminatus.
The end.
So there you have it.
Wow.
I still think they should have all died.
Yeah, a good majority of them probably did.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true, no.
I mean,
Yeah.
But there were enough of the army to wipe out Broke Tree, and enough people survived to start basically a bandit clan, which, when people hear the stories of, bandits doing bad things and being successful, people join them. So there you have it.
All right.
And then the Reaper noise happens. Oh. I am inevitable as... Where did everyone go? I had a whole speech prepared.
Yeah, I had something for this.
Okay, God, I took too long. I knew I shouldn't have turned left at Albuquerque.
So for the record, there were actually success endings.
I rolled to... Pletty, roll me a d20, because I rolled to disbelieve. Pletty's asleep. Care to elucidate?
So basically, I foresaw 5 different endings to this. If you decided to attack the army just on your own, then your NPCs, seeing that you are essentially going after women and children, again, I mean, they have a moral code. If they're getting attacked, that's one thing, but they are not going to attack.
Mm-hmm.
So they took you out to protect the women and children as best they could. The other option was running away, just leaving everyone to their own fate. You know, screw everybody, we're out of here.
Mm-hmm. I brought that one up.
Yeah. But you didn't take it.
Nope.
Yep.
I can't even envision taking that in character.
Another option was to get send out your NPCs to the surrounding area and try and find people that were willing to help defend Broke Tree, while going back to Broke Tree and trying to convince the people to defend the town.
Okay.
Another option was going back to Broke Tree without going out and trying to get help. The final option was going back to Broke Tree and convincing the inhabitants that were willing to leave Broke Tree and head south to find a new location to settle it.
Okay.
I admittedly considered that one too. I just rejected that one because I assumed people wouldn't listen, basically.
With your talk skill, you would have been able to convince at least a large portion of them. But yeah, so Sibri and I wrote up an ending for each of those.
Yeah, she mentioned that to me on Discord. I'm curious who wrote the one we got.
I did.
What was it she said? Hang on, let me pull up Discord really quick. I thought she hinted at like there being flesh airships.
I explicitly told you I was not going to inflict that on you.
Oh no, okay. I mentioned no flesh airships. All I ask, and she said, "Okay, fine." Like a tone of sigh. Fine, no flesh airships. God,
So flesh land ships come.
That would actually be worse. Like picture a tank made of people, which is walking on like 50 legs, just going. Except it's probably like,
Yeah,
it's moving.
It's called Inside.
Oh God, why would you do that?
creepy and nasty.
No.
So yeah, that's it for those characters.
Time to re-roll.
They are probably literally becoming poison oak food,
Yep.
given the tumultuous poison oak filled areas we were in.
I think it would be more poetic if we were eaten by vine snakes. It all started with that.
You know what? I like that. I like that. Yeah.
It's just return it, circle of life, right there.
GM, can we get a ruling here?
You're a bit farther
South.
than the vine snakes,
Yeah.
but eventually they're going to make their way down with the considering the town is going to become abandoned. Mm-hmm. So they will eventually take over and find your remains.
Yum yum.
Did
Success.
it. Eaten by the snakes.
Mm-hmm. It's a fitting end.
It is. It is very apropos for our characters.
That's right, Cord. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Hang on, I take 5 damage on here. No, okay.
It's a good thing we don't have pun damage.
Yeah, let's stop getting punny real fast.
You're right.